Hello. Happy Monday, Fit for Life community. Anyone watching on replay, let us know you're here. It's Monday. It's a good day. And this is fun. Today we're talking about confessions of an imperfectly healthy health coach. Okay, let me make sure my technology is good. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. All right. So I think sometimes when we see somebody who is a leader in a certain industry, or somebody who is an influencer, or somebody who's teaching on a certain thing, we can sometimes go to the place where maybe we think that they're perfect at that thing. And so I just want to let you guys in and hopefully make you feel better about your own journey, because I'm going to share a little bit about my own. And I'm going to tell you today 6 things that I do that are just okay, but good enough in this season of life. So I would love to know, as I go through this, which of these that you can relate to. So as I go through them, just say like, yes, number 1, number 2, or whatever. Because it's nice to know, again, that you're not alone in this and you do not have to be perfect. So I think sometimes we get on these trains of thinking where we think that if I don't do this perfectly, then it's not good enough. Or if I don't do all of the things, then I might as well do none of the things. Have you ever thought that way? And sometimes we've heard things like the 80-20 rule or the 90-10, but then we don't even know like what's included in that 80 or 90%, and it can be overwhelming. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life, and then hopefully this will encourage you to start taking steps, even if they are imperfect, because all of those little steps add up. And that's what we talk about a lot in our Fit Moms community, that when you start making little steps and start stacking these habits one at a time, then it's going to add up to a pretty darn healthy lifestyle. So let's get started. Okay. Number 1. This is something that I just do okay, and I'm cool with it for this season of life. So the first thing is that I do not eat everything organic. Okay. So we know that a lot of our food has a lot of crap on it, right? I do my best in this, but I also understand that there are financial limitations for a lot of us. There are maybe access limitations. And so this is my opinion, that if I am eating something that is real food, even if it is not organic, I'm trusting that the real food can do its job to some extent to fuel my body and to have a good effect on my DNA. Now, there are things like you've probably heard of the Dirty Dozen. If you haven't, then look it up. But there's certain foods that are higher, that have a higher load of pesticides on them. So anyway, I am not perfect. I'm not going to restrict my whole family from eating something if it's not organic. And if you do that, that's great. More power to you. And if you don't do this at all, it's okay. Just do your best. But I just want to let you in on that. I don't eat everything perfectly, but I am always seeking out what is the real food. How can I add that in as much as possible? And how can I try to take those foods that are in the Dirty Dozen and at least try to buy them organically, like berries, peppers. Those are just to name a few. Okay. So let me know if that's you. Okay. Number 2. I still have processed foods at times for my kids. So my kids do not eat completely 100% real food. And I don't freak out about it if they go over to a friend or family's house and they are eating food that is processed, right? Now, I try to have limits on this. And then when they are home, we have the expectation that this is just how we eat. But I also don't stress about every single decision, because they're going to leave my home and they're going to have choices. So my mindset is I want to teach them as much as I can about the value and set them up to steward their own decisions the very best they can. So, I don't think it's wise to have like a ton of processed food choices, but you can have some pretty decent choices in the midst of that. Okay. So number 3, I will eat what is not perfect, not completely real food at family gatherings or at social events, and not stress. So all of this comes with balance and moderation. If I know that I'm going to be at an event that's going to be really unhealthy, if I'm going out to a pub or something, meeting some friends or something, I'm trying to eat real food before I go or looking at the menu ahead of time, but I don't stress and I don't let my mindset get into a place of shame or guilt. So I just do the best I can in that situation, and also know that I'm not going to die if I don't have a full meal. I can go home and eat more later. But I just don't let those situations control me. And I really try to seek out, how can I have joy with the people in the situation? Okay. Can you relate to that? Number 4, I don't do my fitness plan completely, like, ever. I do have a plan and I do my best to try to complete that and keep up with it the best of my ability. But guys, I have 3 little kids and I run a business and trying to take care of my home and do all the things. And sometimes I just don't do it. So I have a mindset of, it's more important to stay active, and then adding in a fitness plan to the best of my ability when I can is a really nice added bonus, and it makes me feel good and makes me feel stronger, all of those things, but I don't do it perfectly, and you don't have to either. But if you don't even try, and if you don't even have a plan to start, then you're not even going to attempt to be decent at it, right? Okay. So let me know, do you do a fitness plan, and have you ever completed it perfectly? And if you have, that's amazing, because I literally never have. Like, if I've tried to do the 80-day obsession or 21-day fix or any of those things, I've never completed it 100%. Okay. Number 5, sometimes I overdo it with food, and sometimes I have the thing that I really want, but here's the thing about that. Like, maybe I have a dessert and I'm going to, like, really eat that dessert, right? The thing about it is I don't go into a place of condemnation, and I know how to make this lapse not become a relapse. I understand that there are cycles and times and seasons for all of this, but I understand also that, like, if the majority of the time I'm making the decision to serve my body well and eat real food and move, then if I have an instance where I really want to eat the thing or do the thing, it's okay. And it doesn't have control over me, and I'm consciously making that decision. So, and that just goes along with number 6. I don't worry. I don't worry about, just like the scripture, do not worry about what you will eat or drink. It's, to me, that's about having control and over food and not letting it control you, and understanding why you're eating the thing you're eating, and having a plan to get back on track into your normal eating routine. So I don't worry. I know a lot of you feel like if you have one instance where you eat the thing that you're not supposed to eat, it totally derails you. And usually it's because you get into this cycle of, like, self-condemnation or guilt and all of that. Okay. So here's what I do. However, so I just want to give you a little glimpse into how I stay on track and how I have a healthy lifestyle overall. So I seek out what will serve my body, and I have a mindset of loving the very best fuel and the very best movement and fitness for my body. And it's not out of a place of striving. It's not out of a place of having to perform or look a certain way. It's just because I know how all of those things make me feel, and the benefits of them far outweigh all of the other, temporary benefits of comfort food, or sitting on the couch or skipping a workout or whatever. So I don't stress if it's not perfect, because I have 3 little kids in a business and our life is insane, but in a good way. And I accept the season of life. I love myself enough to just do my best most days. I understand that I have to cook and I have to do things to prepare in order to have a healthy lifestyle, but it doesn't have to be perfect. On this side of heaven, I will never be perfect. My body will never be perfect. My fitness, my food, none of that. But I am consistently also empowered to study and to not get into a place of complacency. But it's out of a mindset of play and excitement and just trying new things. It's not out of a mindset of shame or striving. And that, to me, is food freedom. It's body freedom. And that is true health. The emotional baggage that you can get from going into constantly shaming yourself about what you're eating can far outweigh that effect can far outweigh all these good decisions. So balance is key. You have to decide what's important, but I hope this is just helpful in general for you to see that you can get into a place where you don't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a very articulate plan and stick to it to 100%. We just want to get you to the point where you're making mostly good decisions and you want to do it because you love your body. So let me know what's helpful. Let me know what stands out to you, and rooting for you guys, and hope you have a wonderful, healthy day.